Assalamu
Assalamu
alaikum. Welcome,
alaikum.
welcome. So Dawada, you guys are watching onto my aunt channel. Today we are making butternut squash. You guys, this is one of my favorite soups. Super healthy, so easy. Here I'm actually showing you guys the ingredients, which are really not much, that we'll be using for this recipe. So let's get started. Bismillah. So we are first going to put all of our butternut pieces, cut them into, a good fair amount of big chunks. Just put them in the casserole bowl there. From here, we are going to add some salt. So don't be shy with the salt. Get a good amount. It looks a lot, but it's really not. As well as some black pepper. And we are also going to add some extra virgin olive oil, the best olive oil to get. Personally, that's what I think. It's the healthiest. So once we have the salt, black pepper, and olive oil in there, go ahead and put your hands in. Go ahead and massage all of those pieces. Mix them together. Make sure you get all those pieces. You have all those spices incorporated in there. All right. So once we do that, you can go ahead and put that in the oven. So we're going to put the oven on for about 45 to 60 minutes. For me personally, it took 60 minutes for it to be fully cooked. As you can see, I actually changed my dish there because it was crowding. So I put a bigger dish in there, and then I kind of like separated all the squash. So here I'm actually putting the knife through to see if it actually cooked all the way, and it has. So from here, we're going to go ahead and turn the stove on up to about medium high. Put a little bit of olive oil in there. My olive oil finished, as you can see. Barely have anything left. So once we put the olive oil, we're gonna let its temperature to rise there a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and put the onions in there, as well as the garlic. Normally I actually put the garlic maybe about a minute after the onions kind of soften, but here I just got ahead and just put everything in there together, because sometimes the garlic can burn and it's not really so good. So we've gone ahead and just stirred that. We'll go ahead and cover it for about 30 seconds to about a minute. We're gonna let it cook and saute, and let the onions soften there. So you can go ahead and just stir all that in. So mix all that together. So from here, we're gonna go ahead and add our carrots. So we're not trying to cook the carrot here. We just want it to kind of like soften a little bit. So once you stir everything together, stirring for quite a bit there for some reason. So go ahead and cover it. So it's like about a minute. We're gonna let it be on the stove there for a little bit. And then once it kind of has, the onions have caramelized, the carrots have softened a little bit, we're going to go ahead and put our butternut squash in. So with butternut squash here, it has so many health benefits. Like I said, for this recipe, we really don't need a lot of ingredients. We just, basically all we're using is just the butternut squash and the carrots. It's simple as that. And in terms of spices, that was just the salt and pepper that we used earlier when we were baking the squash. So go ahead and just mix everything together. So So once we've gone ahead and mixed all that stuff together, what we're going to do is actually add a little bit. I didn't actually show the turmeric initially, but we're gonna add a little bit of turmeric. As you know, turmeric has some medicinal spice, so it's definitely good for you. I try to actually add that in a lot of my cooking. It definitely does give it a good flavor as well. So I do put, you know, a little bit more. Actually come back and put a little bit more turmeric in there. So you can go ahead. So it's all by your choice, all by your taste. So if you don't want to have too much turmeric, it can be a little overwhelming in terms of the taste sometimes. So just adjust it to your liking. So go ahead and just stir all of that stuff, all those ingredients together. From here, we're gonna go ahead and add some water. You can put some maraq or Maggi in there. That definitely does make a world of difference in terms of the taste. I'm trying to keep it super healthy, trying to reduce the sodium, but that's definitely something you can, if you would like, to go ahead and put it in. But I just wanted to keep it a little bit more healthier. So here I use about 1.5 cups of water, but you can put it up to 2 cups as well, depending on the thickness of the soup, whether you want it to be a little more runny or whether you want it to be a little thicker. I wanted mine to be thick, so I didn't really add too much water. So we're gonna go ahead and cover that now, and we'll let it cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. So 15 minutes later, so I would give it 15 minutes. So let it run, cook on medium in terms of the temperature, and then just kind of like go ahead and just, you know, mush it a little bit. What we're doing here was just checking to see if the carrot has cooked through, and then you could just put your, you know, the spoon through to check to see whether the carrots have cooked. From here, we're gonna go ahead and pour all of that goodness into our blender, so we can go ahead and just have a smooth consistency. So be careful with the blender here, it can be quite hot. Put like a tea towel or something over when you're blending it, because it can get a little dangerous there. So now it's pretty much ready. You can go ahead and just serve it and just eat it that way. But with me, I actually did a little taste test when I was blending it, and I noticed it was a little bland. So I decided to go back to the stove and just add a little bit more salt and pepper. Just kind of like enhance the taste a little bit more. But if you want, you can just basically just eat it the way it is. Right after you blend it, you can just put it in a plate, and bon appetit. You can really, you know, skip this process, this step. So yeah, so be careful, it does splatter and it's quite painful, trust me. All right, so that looks like it's quite a bit of salt, but honestly it's really not. And then I just put a little bit more pepper. So with this, like I said, you guys, this is such a healthy soup. In terms of calories, very low on calories. So if you're, you know, dieting or anything like that, watching, you know, how much calories you're intaking, I would definitely suggest having this even before a meal, because have this before, you know, your main meal, and then so you don't eat as much. Or this can be your main meal. But some of the health benefits, you get some vitamin A, C, E, B6, you know, some folate, you get some magnesium, something we definitely need. So definitely an abundant amount of nutrition is in this soup, especially the turmeric that we put it in there, you guys. And on top of that, honest to God, mashallah, this soup is actually really good. It's actually one of my top favorite, and I'm not just saying that, honestly, it really is. So you can go ahead and just serve. The way I personally like to eat it is just like putting a little bit of lemon on there, some bispas or Tabasco sauce. It is really, really good, honest to God. Mashallah. So, or you can just, if you're not into, spicy things, you just put some lemon or lime or just eat it the way it is. But I hope you guys enjoy it. Please let me know what you think, how it turned out for you, and subscribe so you can see more of my videos. And I definitely want to have more soup videos. So enjoy.